Jai Sri Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, the passing away of Bhīṣmadeva in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. Here in the verse 17, it was mentioned that Bhīṣmadeva addressing to Maharaj Yudhishthira that, O best amongst the descendants of Bharata, Yudhishthira, I maintain thereby, therefore, that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head, and my Lord, you should now take care of those subjects who are now rendered helpless. So here it is mentioned, Tasmad idam देवतन्त्रं व्यवस्य भारतवर्षभ तस्यानुभीतितो नथा नाथ पाहि प्रजाप्रभि. So here the purport is the popular saying is that a housewife teach the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. Similarly, the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotee. The devotee doesn't have to learn anything new from the Lord because the Lord teaches the sincere devotee always from within. Whenever, therefore, a show is made to teach the devotee, as in the case of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, it is for teaching the less intelligent man. The devotee's duty, therefore, is to unguidingly accept tribulations from the Lord as a benediction. The Pandavas were advised by Bhishmadeva to accept the responsibility of administration without hesitation. The poor subjects are were without protection due to the battle of Kurukshetra, and they were awaiting the assumption of power by Maharaj Yudhishthira. A pure devotee of Lord accept tribulations as favor from the Lord. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no modern difference between the two. So here we need to understand that here mm, Bhishmadeva telling to Yudhishthira that everything is in the plan of Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah, now he gave to the administrative head uh, to Yudhishthira so that you should take care of the administrative head position and take care of the people who are rendered helpless. That Bhishmadeva telling to Yudhishthira when he is in dually mood. Jai Jagannath. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, the passing away of Vishwadeva in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna, in the verse 18, it was mentioned that this is this Sri Krishna is not no other than the inconceivable original personality of Godhead. He is the first Narayana, the supreme enjoyer. But he is moving amongst the descendants of King Brahmani just like one of us, and he is building us with his self created energy. So here it is mentioned ऐसा भई भगवान शंख साक्षात् अद्यो नर नारायण पू sorry नारायण पूमम् मोहयो मन यया लोको मृढश्चरति विष्णुषु. So here the purport is the Vedic system of acquiring knowledge is the deductive process. The Vedic knowledge is received perfectly by the disciplic succession from authorities. Such knowledge is never dogmatic as ill-conceived by less intelligent person. The mother is the authority to verify the identity of the father. She is the authority for such confidential knowledge. Therefore, authority is not dogmatic. In the Bhagavad Gita, this truth is confirmed in the second verse of the fourth chapter, and the perfect system of learning is to receive it from authority. The very same system is accepted universally as a truth, but only the false arguer speaks against it. For example, modern spacecraft fly in the sky, and when scientists say that they travel to the other side of the moon, men believe this story blindly because they have accepted the modern scientists as authorities. The the authorities speak, and the people in general believe them. But in the case of a Vedic truth, they have been taught not to believe. Even if they accept them, they give a different interpretation. Each and every man wants a direct perception of a Vedic knowledge, but foolishly they deny it. This means that the misguided man can believe one authority, the scientist, but will reject the authority of the Vedas. The result is that people have degenerated. Here is an authority speaking about Sri Krishna as the original personality of a Godhead and the first Narayana. It is such as an impersonalist as Acharya Shankara has said in the beginning of his commentation on the Bhagavad Gita that Narayana, the personality of a Godhead, is beyond the material creation. The universe is one of the material creation, but Narayana is a transcendental to such material paraphernalia. Bhīṣmadeva is one of the 12 Mahajanas who know the principle of transcendental knowledge. His confirmation of Lord Sri Krishna being the original personality of a Godhead is also corroborated by the impersonalist Shankara. All other acharyas have also confirmed this statement, and thus there is no chance of not accepting Lord Sri Krishna as the personality of a Godhead. Bhishmadeva says that he is the first Narayana. This is also confirmed by Brahmaji in the Bhagavatam 10.14.14. Krishna uh, is the first Narayana. In the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, there are ultimate unlimited number of Narayanas who are all the same personality of a Godhead and are considered to be the planetary expansions of the original personality of a Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The first form of a Lord Sri Krishna first expand himself as the form of a Baladeva, and Baladeva expand in so many other forms such as Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Narayana, Purusha, Rama, and Narsimha. All these expansions are one and the same Vishnu Tattva, and Sri Krishna is the original source of all the planetary expansions. He is therefore the direct personality of a Godhead. He is the creator of the material world, and he is the predominating deity known as Narayana in all the Vaikuntha planets. Therefore, his movements amongst human beings are another sort of a bewilderment. The Lord therefore saying in Bhagavad Gita that a foolish person consider him to be one of the human beings without knowing the intricacies of his movements. The bewilderment regarding Sri Krishna is due to the action of his twofold internal and external energies upon the third one called marginal energy. The living entities are expansion of his marginal energy, and thus they are sometimes bewildered by the internal agency energy, and sometimes they by the external energy. By internal energetic bewilderment, Sri Krishna expand himself into ultimate number of Narayanas and exchanges or accepts transcendental loving services from the living entities in the transcendental world, and by his eternal, external energetic expansions he incarnates himself in the material world amongst the men, animals or demigods to re-establish his forgotten relation with the living entities in different species of life. Great, great authorities like Bhishma, however, escape his bewilderment by the mercy of the Lord. So here, Bhīṣmadeva is trying to um, express his gratitude to the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, uh, the passing away of Bhīṣmadeva in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna, chapter verse 19, it was mentioned that, O King, Lord Shiva, Narada, the sage amongst the demigods, and Kapila, the incarnation of Godhead, all know very confidentially about his glories through direct contact. So here it is mentioned, अयोऽनुभवं भगवान् वेद गृह्यतमन शिव देव श्रीनारद संसद भगवान् कपिल nrupa. So here the purport is pure devotee of the Lord are the Buddhas, or person who knows the glories of the Lord in different transcendental loving services. As the Lord has innumerable expansion of his planetary form, there are innumerable for pure devotees of the Lord who are engaged in the exchange of a service of different modes. Ordinarily, they are 12 great devotees of the Lord, namely ब्रह्मा नारद शिव कुमार कपिल मनु प्रह्लाद भीष्म जनक सुखदेव गोस्वामी बलि महाराज and यमराज. Bhishmadeva, although one of them has mentioned only three important names of 12, 12 who know the glory of the Lord. Sri Sarila, Sarila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, one of the great acharya in the modern age, explained that anuvada, anubhava, or the glory of the Lord is first appreciated by the devotee in ecstasy, manifesting the symptom of perspiring, trembling, weeping, bodily eruption, etc., which are further enhanced by steady understanding of the glories of the Lord. Such different understanding of bhavas are exchanged between Yosoda and the Lord, binding the Lord by ropes, and in the chariot driving by the Lord in the exchange of loving with Arjuna. These glories of the Lord are exhibited in his being subordinate before his devotee, and that is another future of the glories of the Lord. Sukadeva Goswami and the Kumaras, although situated in the transcendental position, became glories, become converted by another feature of bhavo, and turn into pure devotee as the Lord. Tribulation imposed upon the devotee by the Lord constitute another exchange of a transcendental bhava between the Lord and the devotees. The Lord say, I put my devotee into difficulty, and thus the devotee becomes more purified in exchanging transcendental bhava with me. Placing the devotee into material troubles means delivering him from the illusionary material relation. The material relations are based on reciprocation of material enjoyment, which depends mainly on material resources. Therefore, when material sources are withdrawn by the Lord, the devotee is 100% attracted towards transcendental loving services of the Lord. Thus, the Lord snatches the fallen soul from the misery of material existence. Tribulation offered by the Lord to his devotee are different from the tribulation resulting from a vicious action. All these glories of the Lord are especially known the great Maharajanas like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Kapila, Kumara, and Vishnu, as mentioned above, and one is able to grasp it by their grace. So, here the one thing we need to understand that the Lord say in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita itself that I put my devotee into difficulty, not for showing my power, but for to purifying my devotee, so that he can exchanging his transcendental bhava or service, transcendental loving service with me. Jai Jagannath, Jai Sri Krishna.